What's up, guys? It's B. Wade. I love these Europe games for the NFL because living on the East Coast, usually have to wait till the afternoon for football to get started. But when we have these Europe games, they start at like 9:30 a.m., which is just fantastic waking up to football already. So it's kind of a shit matchup with the Giants and the Panthers, but I'm still going to cover it here. I have 4 players that I really like that you guys should be playing for this game, and so I'm going to cover them as well. I'm giving away a free signed University of Miami Ray Lewis jersey. I'll tell you more about how you can be entered to win that later in this video as well, but I'm just going to jump into this analysis for you. So we're going to start with Chuba Hubbard, and I actually have 2 plays for him. I like his rushing yards line at 65. You look at the Giants' rushing defense, and they are 5th worst in the NFL, giving up 142 yards a game on the ground. Hubbard was on a pretty solid run there for 4 games. He went up against the Washington and the Denver defenses, which are both pretty stout, and went under, but he went over again against New Orleans last week. Really, regardless of what the game script looks like, they continue to give him carries. I mean, you look, losing by 18, losing by 26 here. They kept giving him, you look at his rush attempts, and he's consistently, I mean, there was this one against Chicago where he only got 13, but otherwise he's gotten at least 15 carries since he's become the man these last 7 weeks. They also just gave him a fat new contract this week, and so I think they're going to want to solidify that and really, you know, with Bryce Young in there, he is going to be what their offense flows through. And so I like his rushing yards line at 65. I think he clears that pretty easily. And then I like his rushing attempts line at 14.5 as well. Like I said, these past 7 weeks, while he's been the man, he's gone over this in every game except for one, and that was a blowout where they got blown out by 26 points. They're up against the Giants here. They are 6.5 point underdogs, but that's actually the closest that they've had a line in probably the last 4 or 5 weeks, if I remember correctly. So this will be one of their closer games, hopefully, and I like him to get at least 15 carries here and give us at least 66 rushing yards. So that's my first player, 2 picks. You can take that either way. Next, guys, I'm fading Bryce Young. I don't know why that's over. We're fading Bryce Young's passing yards. The Giants' secondary is actually pretty solid, and because their run defense is so soft, a lot of teams opt to go at them on the ground. I think that's exactly what Carolina does here. They don't want to hurt Bryce Young's psyche at all, right? They want to keep it run first. They want him to pass in optimal situations, not get stuck behind the chains, not take sacks, not throw interceptions, and so they want to continue to help build him up for a future that they hopefully see in him. And so I don't think he's throwing the ball a ton here. I like him to stay under 178 while Chuba Hubbard gets the majority of the work in this offense. Now, looking over at the other side of the ball, guys, Malik Neighbors over 6.5 receptions. This should just be a plug and play almost every week. You look, other than this one game against the Eagles, where the Eagles just shut down the whole Giants offense, and he was also just coming back from a concussion in this game. He missed, I think, 2 weeks due to that concussion, maybe 3 even. And then he came back, and he only got 4 catches in that game. But you look at the volume he's getting, right? He's getting over 10 targets every game. On average, he put up 9 catches last week against Washington, so I love him to get us at least 7 catches in this game. I do like his reception line more than his receiving yards line. You see, he's been coming under on the yards lately. He's getting a lot of short passes. He can always break one, and he is a deep ball threat, but I would just feel much more confident in him getting those receptions regardless of what the game script looks like. He's going to get those. So I would take his receptions line at over 6.5. And then the last play that I'm taking, guys, is Tyrone Tracy Jr. over 74.5 rushing yards. He's been a monster for this offense, and you look at Carolina's rushing yard defense. Now, they're dead last, right? And they're giving up 159 a game. Part of that is because they've just been getting blown out so much that teams end up running the ball most of the second half. And so that's more of an accumulation stat than it is poor run defense. The amount of runs they're having to defend is is killing that number for them. So I wouldn't put too much into that number, but Tyrone Tracy's looked great. He went for $145 against Pittsburgh, and just like Chuba Hubbard for that Carolina offense, this offense is running through Tyrone Tracy right now. You want to look at his rushing attempts. He got 20 against Pittsburgh, and that was a close game pretty much throughout. You look at Washington, where they were down pretty early, and they came back to make that a 5-point game, but that was not close throughout, and so he only had 16 attempts this game. This is a game that they should win, and so I expect him to get at least 20 carries in this game, and just through accumulation, as long as he's getting about 4 yards per carry, he'll cover 80 yards. So I like Tyrone Tracy to go over here. Let's see what his rush attempt line is. I like his rush attempt line as well. Like I said, the fact that he's going up against Carolina. You look at Carolina's 35 rushes against them a game, right? And that's why their rush defense ranks last for yards, because they're just having so many runs against them. So I'd feel great taking his rush attempts over 17.5 or his rushing yards over 74.5 rush yards. So guys, feel confident in any of those. If you want a new platform to put these in on, you guys need to check out Better and Underdog. You'll see on the bottom of the screen, when you use code BWADE, they will both double your first deposit. They'll also give you a free pick on your first entry that you put in there, guys. And you need to have all of the apps that are legal in your state so that you're not handcuffed to one app, so that you can shop to make sure you're getting the best lines, getting the best payouts. All of these apps have different little quirks where when you're being strategic about it, you can take advantage depending on what kind of slip you're putting in. Just like Dabble. Dabble is my favorite app as far as correlated picks. When I'm putting in a lot of wide receiver, quarterback stacks, they have the best payouts. Whereas Better is giving us discounted picks every day. They're giving us 2 to 3. So you should have all of these. You need to be strategic about it, guys. I want to help you win, and so I hope I'm helping you out with some of this research, this analysis. Also, if you want to be entered to win that signed Ray Lewis jersey, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, and throw a comment down below in this video, and I will be doing a drawing this Sunday, November 10th, for people who have met that criteria, and I'll be sending that jersey out for free to one of you guys at the end of this week. So I appreciate you guys watching. Let's make some money this weekend.